What if humanity's next home isn't on Earth? Could we truly live on Mars, a planet 34 million miles away? Is this just a fantasy, or could it be the next giant leap for mankind? For centuries, we've dreamed about exploring the stars and settling on distant worlds. Mars, often called Earth's twin, has been at the heart of that dream. But living on Mars isn't as simple as landing a spaceship. It's a barren, freezing desert with no oxygen to breathe and countless challenges to overcome. With NASA planning manned missions to the Red Planet by 2030 and private companies like SpaceX racing to make this dream a reality, the question isn't just when we'll get there, but how we'll survive. What hurdles stand in the way? And most importantly, is it even possible to call Mars home? Welcome to the nautical depths, and let's explore the daunting challenges of space colonization as we uncover the truth about living on Mars. Before we dive into the challenges of living on Mars, you might wonder why this planet is considered the top contender for humanity's next home. Well, let's break it down for you. Mars is one of the few places in our solar system that seems somewhat welcoming, at least compared to other planets. Its days, called sols, are almost the same length as ours, lasting just over 24 hours. That's a big deal, because it means a day-night cycle we're already used to. Thanks to its tilt, which is similar to Earth, Mars also has seasons. Scientists have even found evidence of water ice beneath its surface. And where there's water, there's potential for life, or at least survival. The planet's thin atmosphere, while not breathable, can act as a starting point for building life support systems. Add to that its abundant sunlight, perfect for generating solar energy, and you've got a planet that ticks quite a few boxes. With solid ground underfoot and gravity that's manageable for humans, it stands out as the next big step for exploration, and maybe even colonization. But don't forget, turning Mars into a home won't be easy. Serious challenges lie ahead. Unlocking water on Mars, a key to survival. Water is crucial for human survival on Mars, but does the Red Planet actually have water? Surprisingly, evidence suggests it might. In the 1970s, the Mariner 9 and Viking probes sent back images of Mars that hinted at the presence of water. In 2018, researchers in Italy discovered what could be a lake about 12 miles wide, buried a mile beneath Mars's south pole. Around the same time, scientists from the US Geological Survey found 8 areas where erosion had exposed large ice deposits just below the surface. A year later, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter revealed layers of ice and sand buried under Mars's North Pole. While the technology to extract water from Martian soil doesn't yet exist, NASA is working on it. Through the Mars Ice Challenge, university students design prototypes to retrieve water from simulated Martian ice. One winning design, the Mountaineer Ice Drilling Automated System 3, showed promise by mapping, drilling, and extracting water. NASA is also collaborating with global partners like the Australian Space Agency to improve space mining technology. In 2019, NASA unveiled a small prototype spacecraft called WINE. It mines soil, extracts water, and uses it to create steam for propulsion. This innovation could one day help us gather water on the Red Planet. Can we terraform Mars into a second Earth? Can we transform Mars into a planet like Earth where humans could live? The idea, called terraforming, is a popular concept in science fiction. Authors like Arthur C. Clarke imagined a future Mars with blue skies, oceans, forests, and air we can breathe. But making this dream a reality would take centuries, and there are big challenges to overcome. First, we'd need to thicken Mars's thin atmosphere and change its composition. We'd also have to ensure the atmosphere doesn't escape into space, as Mars's low gravity caused its original atmosphere to do. Next, we'd need to heat up the planet. This might be done by releasing greenhouse gases or melting the ice at its poles. Growing plants on Mars's surface would also be tough but possible with the right conditions. If successful, Mars could eventually host cities with thousands or even millions of people. But the journey to get there will be long and complex. The struggle for air. For life to exist on a planet, one of the most important things it needs is a good atmosphere. Unfortunately, Mars does not have the right kind of atmosphere to support life as we know it. The atmosphere on Mars is very thin and made up mostly of carbon dioxide, about 95%. On Earth, we only have a tiny fraction of that. Mars also has barely any oxygen, which humans need to breathe. There is only about 0.13% oxygen on Mars, compared to the 21% oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. In addition, Mars has very little nitrogen, which is essential for plants to survive. On Earth, nitrogen makes up 78% of our atmosphere, but Mars only has about 2.7%. This makes it nearly impossible for life to grow or even survive without additional help. On top of that, the pressure in Mars's atmosphere is extremely low. It's just 6.1 millibars, while Earth's atmospheric pressure is 1,013 millibars. The low pressure on Mars could cause huge problems for humans. Without enough pressure, our bodies would not survive. The air trapped in our bodies would expand, causing serious harm, like ruptured eardrums or boiling water inside our bodies. Also, because the atmosphere is so thin, it can't hold on to heat from the sun. This causes Mars to be incredibly cold, with temperatures dropping as low as negative 285 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than anywhere on Earth. Some scientists have proposed ways to fix this problem by engineering the atmosphere of Mars. It would involve releasing greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and water vapor to help warm the planet and create an atmosphere that could support human life. But a 2018 study showed that Mars doesn't have enough of these gases to make it possible. For now, if humans want to live on Mars, they will need to bring all the life support systems with them. Surviving Mars, the radiation problem. Space is filled with harmful radiation. Our sun and other stars send out powerful energy, like X-rays and ultraviolet rays. Stars like quasars and the center of galaxies also release high-energy particles that can be dangerous. These particles can cause radiation sickness, harm the nervous system, increase cancer risk, and even lead to diseases as we age. Luckily, Earth has a strong magnetic field that acts as a shield, protecting us from most of this radiation. The Earth's thick atmosphere also absorbs the radiation that gets through. But astronauts in space don't have this protection. On a trip to Mars, astronauts could be exposed to radiation up to 700 times more than on Earth. To protect against this, space agencies are working on ways to reduce radiation exposure. They are testing shields and using particle accelerators to recreate space radiation and study how to block it. NASA is also sending radiation sensors on its future missions to track radiation levels. On Mars, astronauts might be able to use Martian soil to build structures, like concrete, to protect against radiation. This would be a helpful way to keep astronauts safe. In the future, missions to Mars will bring many challenges, including the dangers of radiation. But as we explore space, we'll find new ways to adapt and overcome these obstacles, just like we always have. Martian agriculture. Growing food on Mars will be very different from Earth's farms. There won't be any soil. Instead, scientists suggest using methods like tank farming or aquaculture. In these systems, crops are grown in nutrient-rich water and provided with artificial light to help them grow. Some scientists have proposed making Mars more suitable for farming by adding greenhouse gases to thicken its atmosphere. But this is a huge task, and it may take a long time to achieve. For now, it's more realistic to think that people on Mars will rely on aquaculture to grow their food. Living on Mars might still seem like a distant dream, but humanity's drive to explore, adapt, and thrive is unmatched. This journey may take time, but one day it could become a reality. The question isn't if we can live on Mars, it's when. For more content like this, stay tuned to the Nautical Depths and hit the bell icon to stay updated with new arrivals.